George Seitz is my fourth generation ancestor who came from Prussia in 1834. So when they arrived in DC, they found work as a mason for his father. And then George ended up taking over a bakery on Pennsylvania Avenue. When George came over in 1834, and interestingly, he met a woman who was much more educated than he was. Her name was Mary Elizabeth Plant. George married in 1839, and he joined the Mounted Guard in 1852, around the time that he became a naturalized citizen. As a member of the President's Mounted Guard, he would be part of parades for inaugurations, and so he was in the parade of the inauguration of President Lincoln. George's 10th son was Clinton Andrew Seitz, and he was born in 1861. He married Mary Rosalie Hunter on November 4th, 1884. So I do have a wedding ring from Mary Rosalie Hunter Seitz, and I'm actually wearing it today. I don't wear it often because I'm too afraid of losing it, but inside of the wedding ring is an engraving that says CAS for Clinton Andrew Seitz to MRH, Mary Rosalie Hunter, November 4th, 1884. My grandfather was Andrew Clinton Seitz, and he married Kolya Beach. They married in about 1940, and he worked for Vito Plumbing. They met actually as she was working as a receptionist there. William Jesse Seitz and Clinton Andrew Seitz, they were brothers.
My great-grandfather was Jesse Seitz. Early on, I guess, late 1800s, he joined the fire department, was with the fire department, DC Fire Department for, 36 years, retired in 1922.
William Jesse rose up in the ranks. He worked at a variety of firehouses there within DC, but he eventually became a captain.
He was married to a lady named Cecilia, and they had 3 sons, and one of them was my grandfather, which was named George Seitz. When I was a young man, he wanted me either to be a fireman like his grandfather or a locksmith. He tried to teach me the locksmith's trade, but as a young guy, I was more interested in girls and cars, probably.
Horatio Plant was the son of John Plant, who was a Revolutionary War soldier, but by 1811, he had moved to Washington, D.C. He also was in the War of 1812, and he bought a large piece of property in Washington, D.C. Then ultimately the land went to the government, and in 1906, it was the start of creating a golf course. The golf course didn't open until 1921, what was called at the time the Rock Creek Municipal Golf Course. His oldest son was George H. Plant, and I was amazed to discover how much George H. Plant was involved in the business of Washington City, as well as in politics. He started out as a bricklayer. He started manufacturing brick. Then he became involved in the construction of homes. By 1838, he was part of the committee of the Washington Monument Society to build the Washington Monument. I don't know how one man did so much in his life. Another relative of mine is Joseph T.K. Plant. He owned a cabinet making business, the upholstery business, and paper hanging. As most of you know, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated at Ford's Theater in 1865. Joseph T.K. Plant, as a cabinet maker, was asked to come to Ford's Theater and inspect the locks on the theater boxes, specifically on President Lincoln's box, as well as the 2 surrounding his box. He was deposed in the conspirators' trial against those who were contemplating the assassination of President Lincoln. And to have him be the person who was asked to inspect those locks and to report back and sit in the trial and be deposed regarding this event, the assassination of our president, was just incredible to learn about. My family has been in DC for 4 generations, but to be a resident of DC, you were helping to build that city because you were part of that growth. You were part of that change that occurred over that long period of time. Even though my parents personally moved from DC when I was quite young, my heart is in DC.